From the very beginning, when I started working with glass, almost within the first few weeks of my working with glass, I started working with the organic aspects of the liquidity, the natural sort of watery, liquidy qualities of the material. You know, I had worked outside before. I mean, when we started the Pilchuck Glass School in 1971, I did a series of organic forms with Jamie Carpenter that we floated in the pond right next to the hot shop. Those little bubbles were just blown very thin. They were made just to float on the pond for nothing more. And they made for beautiful photographs. And I always remembered that and, and started taking things outside to photograph them. You know, after this great experience of working outside with a natural light, and so different than working in a museum, I had the opportunity to work at Garfield Park in Chicago, which was a beautiful, large greenhouse, 55,000 square feet. It's sure nice to get that waterfall, even if it's just temporary.
So why don't we cut a low table and put it right in that lower pond? And
that way, if you get the stems up high, then you can show the whole waterfall. Could go anywhere in there, Tom. You know, I think an artist knows often when they hit on something. In fact, an artist really can't move ahead or go on unless they have that feeling. Sometimes you might have to fool yourself that you're doing something important, but unless you can make something important, you can't continue. Where the Ikebana is, we put up to 6 or 7 saguaros.
That'd be really good.
Is there ground up there?
Yeah.
Earth? Yeah. I don't know how hard they are to move. I knew that the show was going to look, pretty good because I'd worked outside a lot, and but it turned out much better than I thought. It was one of the most thrilling exhibitions for me that I've ever installed. You can do a lot of things in here that you couldn't do in a museum. You might only have a few pieces amongst some beautiful plants, and that's enough. Whereas if you just had that in a museum, it wouldn't be enough. And that was the beginning of my doing a whole series of works in, I think, 11 different conservatories over the next 10 years. If we do a big show in a museum, we sort of go from gallery to gallery, and you know there's going to be something around the corner. Here, it's much more of a surprise. And so, when you look at my work, it's very organic, and it looks like it, in many cases, could have come from nature even. If I hung a chandelier or had some parts coming out of the ground and we had them in the forest and you came around the corner, your first thought might be that that was something made by nature. That started back when I did the basket series, which was influenced by the American Indian baskets from the Northwest. And I used sort of fire and heat, gravity, centrifugal force. So that's the difference between my work and most glass historically, is that I sort of let nature sort of take its course.
I hope that it, gets people that are interested in gardens and greenhouses to get them interested in art, and vice versa. So because lots of people are missing out by not going to conservatories, and that would be the majority of people probably. And once you get inside here, it's another world.